Brenton mentioned it. One of the best defensive
Did
sides
Sen mess up on the veto? I mean, let's
on
find
this
out.
map. But they
Sentinels
start
on
off
defense,
the
C9
attack,
on
they haven't been
attack.
tested yet, and Sentinels coming out with a composition of the KO Teo
Flash.
that has been a pain point
Flash
for a
on
lot of
short.
teams so far. And C9 will kick things off in his piss around
To know
on the
if they're
attack
there
side.
to create pressure like you're splitting, but you're actually splitting from one.
Yeah,
Sure.
looks like they leave a little bit of the vice util for Sentinels at defense B.
Yori
and look to
TP back
focus this
aside.
A.
No one's
They've
heard it at the
chosen
moment. Dude, he
correctly
actually sticks it
to
with the
start
Omen
things
Flash.
off. Stuck behind the wall. Stuck behind a bit of utility here. Now we see
Hey, this is a
Sen
nice
trying to get
strat.
back into the site as Net takes one
And
down.
then
They're
wall
still
over
just
the
milling
top.
about getting themselves
After
sorted out
plant.
here.
Oh, dude, how you
And
meant
it
to
looks like
retake
3 from
this?
Sentinels already to
After
crash back in
plants,
once Heavy gets
Sensor, Evan and Door. Still gonna break this. Wait, this is a nice pistol. Oh, yeah, C9 like really legit at Ascent because their defense is nice.
Just there, Oxy looking
This
to provide
is-
that noise. They
this
get
is
stuck
cool.
just a little bit. Oxy taking the fight, has
They did
protection
good.
over
Good
the shoulder,
damage on
but
top of
Zekin's
that.
gonna be able to trade. They're playing this so calm. 3 in hell is a little scary, but they do still have Mitch on the outside,
Yeah,
so they
another
don't have to
recon can
worry. The
come in.
crossfires here should be enough. Celsius, John Cutie getting that ghost in the classic to do some big damage here, but it's up to the Vive Merchant. Can he do it? One jumping right click, and there's going to be a tight timer on
Nice
this.
and easy on
That's
this one.
Mitch. That's
Dude,
the
lovely
classic,
pistol.
and that's C9
Lovely,
with the
lovely pistol.
C9
Flash over towards short with the smoke and middle to create pressure over towards short, but then you're actually just hitting the site. You kind of split them up, and then your whole hits over towards here. All over the top. Shut the door. Smoke door.
On this map here of Ascent.
Yori TP
But he
back
had a
site
good read in the very beginning.
with the
4
Omen
players
Flash
stacked
on top of
heavily
it.
towards the A side, leaning towards
Nice
Zelsis'
pistol.
wall for information towards B.
Chase O with the Prime, thank you so much for the 7 months, mate. Thank you for doing that.
When they blocked out all the entries that Net had, buying the wall, going for the Net, and trying to stop them this round. Sentinels are trying to be aggressive in the very beginning, and look at how good that Net is to
Sentinels
counter. Already
go
grabbing
for the punish.
board
Was this
and not
the
giving a
EG
chance
net,
for
or was this
Sentinels
the
to
net
start
off the
with
wall?
a trap play.
Net was this. I'd have to watch that back. Or maybe we get some extra
Guessing
rounds for that.
site to site here for round 1 and 2 is
So,
they organize
sorry,
around
EDG
B.
even.
You can see it's very light
EDG
on
do a
Eco, just
nice
Razorvine out
B
for now.
default,
And just the lure coming in from Vic.
and
Definitely still a
Sentinels
lot of
can,
respect
sorry,
for
C9
Cloud9.
can do something similar.
Sentinels does have refreshable utility that could be very good to snap
I
up the
think,
second wave of C9, who
so
potentially is also
personally
waiting for the
me,
grab net back from
with
Net
the
to activate,
Yoru
so
comp on this
already
map,
making a lot of noise at the very
when
beginning
you
of the round.
can like
Why not?
heavy
Let's grab
default
the
over
orb. Let's
towards
min-max
these
the outside
areas,
for
even
Cloud9,
investing a
and try
smoke,
to figure out Sentinels
getting
are gonna
towards
be
these
a little bit antsy
corners,
and over-rotate.
and
Still
freeing
seeing
up
here
like
rotation coming back from the sponsor.
3 more Yoru
I like the fake they
TPs
can produce with this.
is very,
Little
very
bit of
strong for
noise,
side
action, The
hits.
flash in the ruse.
So
The play is
I think,
actually gonna be a B. They get caught right
especially
to
when you have the
0 point for
deadlock
this
that kind
too,
of
so that
perma
helps
shots
sell it a
down
little
over
bit more.
towards B
Actually, the knife only
with
seeing
Gravnet.
Oxy. They
I
know
think you
that the hit's gonna be
can do
towards
some
B. It
cool
was a bad
stuff with
fake,
the Yoru.
So they have the perfect stack for this so far.
30 seconds.
Right
And a
back.
comp that normally needs to
Net
take
on
over
one,
towards
but
middle.
Zekin will trade here.
It's a
Still
heavy
in towards the
stack
back of the
here.
site. They find Zeppa finally, as the whole death ball finally is able to come through the archway at B. Looks like a pop flash wants to come through. Zekin's going to use that for help,
Dude,
but
guns.
they can't. No, they can get the kill onto Oxy.
Weapon upgrades as well. Pop flash trying to delay.
Shot.
Yeah, weapon's down. That was a huge upgrade. It's going to be the stinger for Zekin.
Oh, that's a big round, man.
And they pull the rug out from under
That is a
C9.
big, big round.
Great
Stack
eco round
over
for Sentinels.
towards
Again, we
site.
talk about the good reads
That
coming out
sting
from
is
John Cutie.
deadly.
When the knife only spots Oxy towards A main, when double footsteps are being thrown as an attempt for a fake, they knew exactly that the second wave hit was going to be towards this B site.
What is this?
And they have util, refreshed util coming out from Mateo. The crossfire is being set up. And look how clean Zekin looks here on a 1v2.
Nice smoke as well.
Stinger brought up, classic round purchased by Sentinels. And Zelsis is standing up tall.
That's so crazy. Okay, they buy Outlaw and C9 forced into
One of the
this.
big things Emmy said between games when playing
Outlook
G2
and one
was
shot,
that
all of them
they
apart
have
from
to get
Net.
ahead of the team in the server, mostly against G2 because they win before
This is what
they
I was
even
speaking
get
about
in.
a
So
little
it's
bit, the
about
fact with the
C9
Gravnet you can kind of
staying in
force over
control,
towards the mains.
Staying in front of Sentinels, and that buy here hopefully helps them do this.
C9,
They
sorry,
spread the
Sentinels
map
can
out
kind of
even
do the
more
same
for
thing
this
with the
round
tail.
here. A lot of
That's the
time
thing
to
as
work
well.
when they're already meeting a little
Poseidon,
bit
thanks so much for the Prime.
rebuttal here
Appreciate
for
the 3
Sentinels.
months.
You already
Thank you
see
so
the
much.
buy coming out from Zekin in round number 3, going with the outline.
That was the
This is
crowd
what
behind it.
C9's known for. Playing a lot
They're
of
going
regen
nuts.
buys, regen shields. And he's just going to post up very easily to get the first blood onto Zeppa. So that forces now Cloud9 to stay as a group and try to find the right time and a hit towards this A side. Util to start spamming towards tree.
Whoa.
Annihilation prepared.
Got one.
Thrown out to sight.
Nope.
Oh, he missed.
Oh, Net on the right side as
Oh,
they start
Net
to trade back and
though.
forth. The Stingers just seem to be the higher prio weapon right now that's doing the
Yeah,
damage.
everyone's one shot.
Plant on
Nice
Jenny and a
shot.
quick shot from Zekin. Always good for the one, but is the second one in
Can
the
pop
chamber.
knives as well if he
Ready
wants to.
For another member of Cloud9. 3v2, blades come out. Zekin tries to break the crosshairs, but he's going to be the one that also collects the kills as Vic is playing huge. Vic, the unsung hero since the Red Bull
Smokes
home ground, since
himself
he joined the
off.
squad.
I like that.
Can he collect this one over New Jersey's finest?
The read. And again, it's a one shot with the Outlaw. Good read by Vic to not get pulled by the diffuse on the fake from Zekin.
Fakes on fakes here for both of them. Into the site, one shot miss.
Damn,
Vic's
Vic
gonna
played
get it.
this
He's gonna get
very
three kills
well.
around and enough to take it for C9.
Goodness, force
Again,
buy
Vic
paid off.
coming
Dude,
into
Vic
this
played that
playoffs as
insanely
the
well. Not a
highest
believer
rated
the first
controller
half
player in the
smokes himself
VCT
off, so it's
Americas
not just
and proving his point right
at
here.
some like
On a
weird
2
angle where he has
versus
to go like
3,
jump
when
peek
Zekin
against
has
an outlaw
blades
or he
from
can
when a
get one
team's trying to
shot.
flood within the site.
Waited for
If
the
he even
tap
loses
as
a
well
teammate in
again,
the
took
process
the
towards
space over
Generator,
towards
he
the
still
right,
picks up
and he
the
got the trades
1v3
there.
towards the end. We're gonna have a highlight reel of Red Bull
Oh,
clutches
lovely shots,
in
mate.
this series. They talked about this game
Sick
being
round.
intense on the desk, and we're already witnessing this now.
It seems like when you call upon Vic, he steps up to the
Okay,
table
Zekin
in these
hero gun.
situations.
Zekin kind of looks on as well.
C9
Instant omen
benefits
flash,
from
instant
it
recon.
just
They were
about
going
every
fast in this one.
series.
Fawns over towards heaven,
Back
so
towards
I'm
the
not
A
sure
site.
Zekin
C9
can
is
even
being
help his
very
team
quick with their
here.
attacks, knowing when they could possibly go for the throw, but they're not prepared. They don't understand what Sentinels can
What's
bring to the
going
table.
on?
A flawless round 4.
How?
And you know when you're gonna play
Zekin's just
against
sitting still in
Cloud9, you will
Fawns,
have some
kills
very
2,
fast rounds.
and
Blink and you miss
how's
it.
Narrate done that?
The push from C9, unfortunate miss from Net.
Oh,
who
the
couldn't-
Fawns goes
who couldn't
way
get the
too
kill
much to
into
the right, so it
Generator.
gives him a bit of
Jeez.
space.
Look at the crossbar setup. And you know, here in the Riot Games Arena so far, we've been loud here for the fans. On Sen City's side and also for Cloud9.
Yeah, the desk was talking about it. That sixth
Now what?
player of the team, the crowd.
And now
have
they
to
got their
feel
own
like they're
hero
always
gun.
on their
You
home
got an
turf,
omen
even
ult if they want it.
in the same
Grab
home
net
area.
insta over towards
And
short,
that's for
smoke
Sentinels
here,
right
recon
now. The
middle,
cheers are there.
flash to see if
But
they're
don't forget
being
it, the
main.
Cloud9 fans are ready to support them as well, as they're still, we're all tied up here 2-2, and this low buy is going to mean C9 goes hunting in mid for a little something extra.
They're
Oh,
crossing over. Big flash, but they couldn't push forward to get the pick. Although Net snuck through.
Nat clears
Yeah.
one and actually pushes Zekin off his line. They have the front side of B now to slowly creep in once the vines go down, but they have to be worried about how fast Sentinels is going to close
oh,
back in on
can
this.
they?
Tempo quick. Zekin has nothing.
Oh,
but
okay.
the shorty.
I was gonna say,
The
what
Guardian
can he do
pickup
back
for
aside
Oxy?
here?
Straight through dimensional drift into the round. Zekin's going to say no. 2 to the back of the site, and he clears it up, making sure it's
He's
secure.
out of there.
Now it's just finding out where the
No
safety goes
way.
for it as he turns
There's
around
no
just on his
way,
six. He's able to get the
dude.
capitalization of the kill. The
That's
bang
nuts.
is all they need to
Dude, you
secure
pause the
round
minimap
now
at
as
that
we
time
go
when he
to
gets
6.
vi sorted, and you're
Punch
like,
for
well, he's
punch.
probably
What
gonna get
great
one because he has a
positioning from
shorty.
Zekin moving towards
He
the
gets
back of that B
2.
site.
Obviously, the smoke's
A great
really
read at the
nice
very beginning
to
for
help him
Cloud9.
out of
You're
there.
trying to go for the trades. You're on his
But he
broken bar. The
survives.
best weapon that you had was a Guardian.
And then
So you
gets that.
Pull out the Steel
Dude.
Guardian out from Zephyr. You're weakening the weapon towards the back. It's a shorty in the back of the site.
Oh, Imi.
Gets 2 picks somehow.
Dude, he's 12
already a
and
second
3. He
brainstorm.
looks
He's already one away from a
unbelievable
third
right
one.
now.
Within 6 rounds.
Track them down.
And it was a
Crazy.
head-to-head between Zekin and Oxy, but so far it's Zekin writing the story for Sentinels in the series.
Oh, and now we change it up. Smoke,
We're looking to where the
flash,
octane would come
tail,
from right
oh,
now.
oh,
and
double
Zekin
flash.
is fueled by the
Double
team.
flash,
What
yeah.
a play towards tiles. Armageddon comes through as well, and Cloud9 didn't even
Wait,
get a
that's
chance
cool.
to breathe
I like
on
that.
this round.
This was a buy.
Because
for
normally most
Cloud9
people
in
play
round number
anti.
6.
And then you have the tail ult there as well to
Celsius
make sure that
is
they go in
fired up
front.
right now for
Then you
Sentinels.
double flash. No one ever double flashes in this
But
strat.
Sentinels
See, look at him.
giving a little taste of C9's own medicine. The aggression coming out on a B-side attack. The crunch towards tiles followed by the
Dude, this is a cool
Armageddon.
strat.
Definitely, Imi's calling a timeout here.
I think it's
And
one of the
everyone's doing
things
some
that
nice
is
stuff at the moment.
surprising all of us is that, you know, C9 would come out hard and you wonder if Sentinels can match it, but now Sentinels is going a step further and turning that up even more against C9, who won they get that flaw. They get the second round or third eco that they had against Sentinels because they think, oh, we can go easy on this round. They're just gonna have classics, but Sentinels have a plan for everything right now. And once they get the lead, it looks like they have a plan to very much keep control of the lead.
And I love that Imi is working double shift here, coaching Cloud9 and going clubbing right after.
Yeah. When did he join the Mafia? It's crazy.
But he's been good under timeout calls. So trying to understand what Sentinel's currently doing, they've been having good reads on stacks. Crossfire is being set up, and when you're playing aggressive against Sentinels are down for that. They're down to go down and dirty and trade.
Okay.
It was an issue that they kind of had towards Bangkok, but something that they started building up here towards Split 1 to see.
This is a good chance for Sentinels to get even more money, and the money's actually really, really good right now. They're set for a pretty good half, but honestly, against this comp, they kind of need a good half. It's going to be interesting to see how C9 play their defense as well, because when they did it, they I think it was like 12, or was it 12 or was it 11? Majority of their rounds, they had their vice wall over towards middle.
And there's no tape for Sentinels on this. They could feel very comfortable from scrims on what Ascent has to bring is one of the maps.
Okay, GravNet over towards A, create A pressure, then into the group over towards short.
Comfortable at this point.
You're not seeing for Cloud9 after this timeout, though, that are trying to go for something aggressive. Something that actually under MCE's helm in the past used to be something that C9 loved to do during these timeouts with stinger buys.
Yeah. The wildly high eco percentage, being able to win all their low buy rounds.
Nice. They do the deep wall.
Playing it like a regular
this
round.
wall's kind of strong. Deep wall, and then you can protect it.
Trade. You're trying to activate this
kind of want to do the clone close to this wall to make sure it doesn't happen, but still can get shot.
Or try to sell some sort of fake. And with the wall still staying up, it seems as though with the minute mark, they kind of just want to stick together and go for the death ball. We talked about a stinger buy that wasn't for a full team, but at least you have it on Zeppa and Net.
The great reclear though, like the good all
so hard to break. You have to put yourself in such an awkward position, even to jump it as Zekin's ready for one.
Plays for him again.
Always getting that first vision and happy to back into sight to just set up his own little garrison, his own little way
here comes
to
the
protect
smoke.
everything.
He's the delay. Kev's gonna be able to rotate in time. He's gonna be able to flash over.
And the vines and the rest of it still hold him.
What a shot that is! They pick up a gun. There's a fast flank behind. Omen all gets cancelled.
Inside lane. Now it has to be Sentinels to react.
Beacon ults, no one to stop that.
Oh, they're not going to get that back either. Wall's going to go up to protect it. That Celsius is going down. And now they just have a few more. Still weapons
so
coming
fine
in.
with Mitch popping ult on this one with a recon.
Has to play this smart, but they're actually not watching the angles from a distance here. Trade 2 for 1 as Oxy tries to stop the bleeding there, but he goes down as well. Can they get this one shut down? Mitch and John Cutie both one shot to the weapons they have in hand right now. And that's going to be Mitch again with another
big round from Mitch. I thought he was going to pop his ult. He also spammed so much damage onto this guy from the recon early.
In this series, going back and forth for both teams.
Hectic game already.
By Cloud9 coming out from the timeout.
Everyone with the low buys
bringing the wall up. Look at the util that was used in to enter towards that site. The net grabs Zelsis, the paranoia blinds on top of lane, and even the annihilation.
Zelsis was perma crouched like that whole round.
Bang to cancel his ult.
Did you wake up with the tier 1? Thank you for the 16 months, dude. Thank you for that.
From the shadows, you get
I'm feeling about Vitality. I mean, I don't think they're making trans there.
Good position for the Pulse clan.
And what is it? A thrifty for C9, playing those
ecos
smart again. Opt for Zekin as they try to set up some hard lines here and shut down the speed of C9.
This is interesting. We've got smoke on short, recon to clear it, TP. If the flash hits, then they own the flash. Dude, I'm surprised that flash hit. I'd hit this guy.
It looks like we're stalling just for a bit.
Okay. Trade for trade, we're at a 4-4.
Still 2 on site, and they have Omen flashes to help them.
That have fallen here.
Flash
so
singular.
Still pretty easy for both teams to defend and get into sight on the retakes. They don't know Zekin's back there. Can they pinch him in? Oh my gosh, the Zealous Assault comes out, just gets everybody to scatter here, and that is going to be tough.
Very nice.
Sorry, that was Zeppa's.
But this was the round. Thank you so much, mate. Thank you.
Kill. The operators online, and now Cloud9 have something to worry about even more so than just taking sites.
We talked about the buy rounds for Cloud9 being immediately shut down, and it's been kind of like the story for Cloud9 on their attack side so far. But getting 3 rounds out of 9, playing a double Sentinel comp. You got to take it for now.
Jeez. I was looking at what Zelsis' ult. He just got more kills on the round anyways. It almost looked like he didn't
Close
even
him down
use
to Nico again, but we see what that's like.
All right. So where do they go now, Vance? Back and forth on the rounds we go. There's still some money for C9, but only the hero rifle for Oxy.
That's the only thing right there working for Oxy, and they're trying to use it towards the aim side. At least it trades out, but Nary gives the advantage for Sentinels at the very beginning. Now the weapon's out. They can't really pick it up yet.
Yeah, well, they know where to.
Unless they're able to push here, that person right back, and that's going to be Nary. Thankfully, the L drone pings them, and they could salvage this weapon and maybe turn it around once again for Cloud9 on another Thrifty.
Sentinels are starting to gain a little bit more map control here.
Is 3 enough?
Getting the early fights.
I don't think so.
It
might be.
And they are not wasting time.
The problem is that they've already shown like a full half of defense before.
C9. Still
you probably see like a bit of a
sketchy here towards mid from Zeppa.
like a pretty good game plan come out from.
That's twice that happens here for Sentinels, leaving a wall all the way back to prevent a push, but 2 times it's been punished. They got to change this wall now for Sentinels, but if not for Cloud9, they're pitching in towards this A site. They have a good read.
And a beautiful shot from John Cutie to start shutting this down. Nary just on the edge, and they know they're going away from the operator. They're trying to pin down the rifles, and they just have one more inside A site now. The IGL, John Cutie trying to call the shots here, can't do it.
Bro,
without the help of Zekin, and the operator now has to retake the site from 2 members of Mitch and Zeppa.
If I'm Zekin, I'm going for this. On fire so far, it doesn't even matter if he gets pinged out, dashes forward.
Oh my god.
He does one. Zekin already pulls the
oh my
god. Uses A site like a jungle gym and sits down.
He's unstoppable at the moment. What are these rounds?
Zekin today?
Oh, he shouldn't have been alive for that long though, right?
How does he get a 360 shorty kill onto the first guy and still
he's
has
17 to 4.
And he is pushed into that play. That wasn't his decision.
Exactly.
He said, oh, I'm about to get pinged by a dart. Let me quickly come up with a play to kill these 2 players. Like instantaneous from this guy. Look at that. Zelsis is out of his chair. You know when you're even getting your teammates hyped up from plays they're not expecting. You're doing it right.
He's like, how the hell are we winning these rounds, dude? How? Dude, the Imi cam must have been so funny that round.
You want him in forward positions, he's getting an op kill. You want him to anchor towards a B side,
late knife over towards A after the smoke's gone. Oh, okay, maybe if you hear a TP, they wanted to lock him in.
Over at B. Their Sentinels are hardly changing anything about the defensive setup. A little bit more rotation.
Eco goes in. I'm gonna break this again. Oh, triggered it.
Site here, as it's
same idea though.
Cloud9 trying to toy with mid. They didn't break the wall earlier since it's such a weird spot to get up and push with the angles that have opened. So using the clone for that.
Exactly.
They still have nowhere though.
It's actually a good one to bring the clone out that time. Remember, we talked about how they were punished with the wall towards M3, towards back towards the spawn. Now a double swing to try to punish the crossfire setup from Sentinels, but war attrition. A couple of utils being thrown out.
That's good damage though onto them.
With 50 seconds left on the clock. So C9 could now continue to work around the map, try to force these rotates. And it starts off
Spike, solo, walking middle. He's got help now.
Mitch moving forward.
Celsius sees a shoulder. They both are able to trade that vision. In C9 still trying to hit almost on every point of the map right here. Back towards Cat. They still have Teo. They still have a bit of a crossfire towards site. Air raid's ready for the side shot. Is able to get Oxy just through the wall at the end. And now he's pinched, but he gets the paranoia help, sight help from the team, and it's absolutely huge.
It's a solid lockdown from them. It's a great
paranoia
flash from
and
Bang.
the cleanup from Sentinels. The teamwork is absolutely immaculate for
That's
them.
what I was wondering here. Vic was still holding towards A main at this point. Still had a paranoia. I don't think the knife was ever thrown by John Cutie towards the front.
No, just on Cat area.
I'm assuming right now Cloud9 or that previous round was trying to push forward, trying to find information so that Vic could throw the paranoia to allow Cloud9 to really move in towards the A site.
So worth getting that gun on them.
Down, no communication where to throw the flash. And that's a small little fumble coming out for the first time in this series, I gotta say here. Because both teams have been really fighting well, toe-to-toe, reading the good macro, but right there at that spot, there should have been some good reads coming out here, at least some assists from Vic to allow those players on tree to move in.
And I think C9 call a timeout. Vans, you pose the question, is the attack side something we have to worry about for C9, starting on attack and not starting on defense.
I mean, they have your ult though,
Once
right?
they get into the site, we saw the speed they were trying to use. The Deadlock can lock it down. The Vice can lock it down, but Deadlock and Vice aren't necessarily great
Two
for taking
timeouts.
that
I mean, he
site.
probably has
So
a
we're
lot of
seeing
faith
them-
in their
C9
defense
gets
as well.
stalled out so much
This is
now.
like
There's
the
definitely
half
a
that he
game
has
plan
to
around
help him
Cloud9
out
around
with.
this composition for sure with the double Sentinel.
Plus, if they
For
start
sure,
doing
they're
the comeback
preparing
anyway,
against a
Sentinels will time
KO,
out
for
for them.
example, and
Yeah.
also a Teo. There's a lot of missiles, a lot of knives that could break out for this utility, and that's why Bren was saying Cloud9 has such a good defensive side, because not only can they pivot the util back and forth, maybe stack from here and there, but C9 are quite aggressive at the very beginning of these rounds too.
Yeah,
you
they're
can't
trying to
play
be.
turtle back, because if you're going to get hit by a knife, you're going to hit by salvos. The
Which
util's
comp
already
do I
gone.
like better?
So you have to fight aggressive
like-
at the very beginning.
Yeah.
That was something
like
that worked
both
very
comps.
well against Leviathan.
I would like
during the
this
regular
more
split.
if this
They
was
won
a
that game
Teo, but
13-3.
the Sova's pretty good.
So they have what, a 12-1 on the defensive side. So getting 3, again, as I say, it's not too bad looking at Cloud9 because they look very clean on the defense, but for sure, coming out of this timeout, that's why Imi's using both of them right now on their attack side, just to try to salvage these last two, when they once again have not too much utility to work with, or in terms of weaponry,
Do they want a
but they have the
Yoru
ults, and they've been really
ult
good with
this?
the Annihilation hit
Yeah.
the last time around.
And looking at Sentinel's side, you always have to look at Zekin right now. The operator out now
Oh,
from
looks
B
like it
main,
might be good
pushing
for
mid
another
and
here.
takes down net. So even if we do see C9 getting a
Jet
site,
or
that
Yoru on
hold
Ascent.
becomes that much
If I'm running a
weaker.
Teo, I
Zekin
want a
has been
Yoru,
so
to be
pivotal
honest.
this game so
It
far. I
just
think
makes
that's
the options
18
so easy.
kills for him as well. And the op hasn't slowed him down and even retaking sites alone.
That's Cloud9 that was trusting that smoke too much. Being pulled up on M2 right by Pizza. Zekin just walks through that, gets an easy kill and dashes away, while everybody's still hyper-focused on trying to take up Catwalk. A little bit of a fumble once again for
Why
Cloud9
Yoru
out
so
of the
good with
timeout.
Teo? Just
Micro mistakes,
completely
but it
opens your
renders
options away. You
costly
can
because
TP
Sentinels
too.
are closing and taking a huge lead on this first half.
Oh, John Cutie playing that angle perfect. Narrate takes another one down, and even the eco rush, that little death ball through market, could not make it alive. Sentinel starts to pinch in from
Looking
every
clean.
which way. They're varying up things that C9 has looks at, right where John Cutie is getting those kills. Delsa's played a few rounds ago, so who's playing it and how they're playing it is changing. C9 may be expecting a bit of the same, but they're always seeing a lot of different things here.
Yeah. Well, thankfully, yeah, they decided to use the Steel Guardian for Zeppa for that split. Don't do that, John Keating. What happened last time we did that little one? But
Yeah,
trying to
instant
get
round?
that split towards that B side was
Maybe
fully
instant
denied, but at
round.
least
These
they
two
have
combo
weapons
pretty
to work
well.
with this time
Yeah.
around, and
These
also
two can
still some
combo
more
pretty
ults.
well.
So leveraging Oxy this time around, who's been relatively quiet so far in his head-to-head matchup between him and Zekin, could get a lot of information here for maybe doing some sort of combination with the Dimensional Drift and also the Annihilation from net, so that they could open up a site. But they have to figure out where Sentinels are currently
Great
positioned, and I
shot.
love that to start. A great
trade,
first
though.
blood from Zekin, but at least it gets immediately traded out, and that's finally C9 working on those fundamentals that were kind of needed in the last couple of rounds.
Yeah, they're trying to put their cat hold back together here. You see quickly John Cutie coming around if there needs to be a flash. They get the drone, they'll have the knife. And it looks like they are going to try to dimensional
Oh,
drift
where
over
the
here
Yoru
towards A.
came
The
from?
step up though from Bang just to get a little further and take him off guard.
Big 1v1. That is a massive
Neri
1v1.
coming in, closing
Probably the
down the
rounds.
site, playing previously where John Cutie was, so they're rotating each other around here, as I said before, but still the hold is just the same.
Very,
There it
very
is.
nice.
Zeppa goes down
The raid did great. I mean,
9-3
Zekin
here for
took
Sentinels
over,
on the
though.
first half
Like, Zekin
after
really
quickly pulling
took
away
over.
early.
It was going back and forth until finally you're starting to get the ult. And also Zekin on an
Narrate
operator.
had a
That's been
nice
something that's
tail
been a
on this
pain
one as well
point
to
for
make sure that
Cloud9
no one
so
could
far,
really
but I
follow
love
up
this
the
Bang getting
Yoru.
in front of the Dimensional Drift. King creating ruckus, not giving a chance for C9 to activate here on the attack, but hopefully they can here on the defensive side.
Sen City looks to keep the momentum going when we come back from the break.
It's for you. Do you like it? Come on, Charlie.
He with the
use your new
pistol,
door.
yeah.
Come on, let's go.
Sentinels really locked this
Said
down.
Go. Let's go. Silly dog. I'm gonna trade you for a cat.
Red Bull gives you wings.
I'll send in, they look great.
The new Red
It's going to be a little bit harder on
attack.
attack, but again, I think they still have a pretty good game
with
plan.
monk fruit
I would
extract.
imagine for most of these buy rounds, they default over towards middle, because C9 put their Vice wall over towards middle. Isn't this the SEN permaban? I mean, they've been focusing on some maps that they weren't good at previously. They managed to get their Haven crazy good. Then, no, I think they'll be doing pretty good. I think they'll have a good plan for this on attack, but we'll see. I think NRG has a chance against 100 Thieves tomorrow. I have them winning. I have NRG winning tomorrow. Not that that'll make you feel any better, because I don't predict much stuff right. But Cutler with the Prime, thank you for the 8 months. We got Amy JM with the Prime as well. Thank you for the 5 months. And Syndica 1012 with the Prime. Thank you so much as well, dude.
With a 6-round lead on
as well.
Ascent.
Thank you so much for the Prime, mate. Appreciate these 17 months.
9-3 here, and C9 is
Have we
known to
done
be pretty
pick'ems?
good
We're
on
doing okay in
defense,
Americas,
but
but
can they find that play style now after Sentinels came out this strong?
I think right
Yeah,
now,
find
though.
ways to
Oh,
shut
okay.
down
I mean, we're
seconds
1
so
for 1
far.
right now, but
If not, it's
no,
going
they
to
won't
be a
last for
pretty
long.
Easy first map for Sentinels
This
to
won't
start
make
this series.
C9 fans feel any better. 1-0 on the Pistols.
Yeah.
Jeez.
You see the position from C9 at the, from Sentinels at the very beginning here. It's just going to be to scale up to try to find some
Any
information.
shock with that? No? Okay.
Bang is all the way back at the top middle.
Dude, I thought we were going to be
he's trying
shocking
listen
off
for
of that
some
one.
A lot of damage onto Mitch, and that's not going to refresh.
This is tough though. Nary cannot overextend so far because he has his spike, but thankfully a defensive smoke will allow here his teammates to meet up with him.
Just buying more time, making a little noise. They want C9 to dislodge
They
themselves
locked
from
off the
those initial
spike.
positions here.
They're actually going to get pretty early info that they're here and they're clearing middle at the same time. Does Vic get his smoke in time for when they start shooting this?
Holding back and forth in the very beginning. They're expecting
Yeah, they're
this
trying
type
to
of
just
aggression
blast it
coming up
early.
on the defense. And you're seeing it slowly. It's a scale. Look at the minimap. They're actually pushed out here towards the A side. But now they're read on the wall.
Protocol
Oh,
wall
they
takedown.
didn't
It's gonna
check.
be logs.
Oh, that's a great
And they
kill,
do
though.
hit
It's probably
Nary
the one.
quick.
And
Second
Omen
and John
Flash.
Cutie coming fast with the kills on attack. It is a swarm from Sentinels, and now they're going to have the sight.
Yeah,
Second
it felt like they
Sheriff
didn't
is
really
still
get to
gonna be lurking
calm
around here. Looks like
how
he
they
will
were going to
stay
help
close
each other
stairs.
out.
Trying to make sure he was one of the crossfires on the outside of this boathouse so they don't get utiled, and it's going to be the 2-1 split here from C9.
They need Oxy and Mitch to get value out of this recon flash. They could maybe get some wall bangs with these ghosts.
Well, now, I mean,
Oh,
it comes
the
down to
flash
the
and
Yori
recon,
flash.
so they can't dodge would be perfect here if they can just get it over the wall
Yori
in
flash
time. Vic's trying to
recon.
draw the attention. 1 and 2 come out from the left side. It's the util. It's the fight now.
Very
and
nicely
Sentinels
done
has
from
their eyes on the
Sentinels.
prize, and they instantly wiped
Had a
down
good
the
plan
3
on
members
this one.
of C9.
Yeah,
I think
Sentinels already knew
C9
the
could
win
have
con
played it a
coming out from
little
Cloud9,
bit better,
trying to
especially
get
with the
some
push
ping
off of
that
here.
recon.
I think
Fang
you need to
throws the
buy
smoke,
time
hides
for
into
them.
it,
But
and
I
then
get
the
that
rest
the
are playing
deadlock
towards the
was
back
like
of the site. You
committed.
even see the position. I think that
But
was
I
Zekin
think
in front
whoever
of
was
the default
stairs probably
boxes,
should
so
have
they
chilled
can't
and
get
played with
pinged
the
if
Omen
recon
flash.
goes towards the back of the wall. So again, I just think that they
But
have
maybe
really
Zephyr
good
didn't want to look like he was
understanding how to play
baiting.
against Cloud9 so far. Even though Cloud9 have only played this map once this split, they've always second banned against other teams, thinking right now that
The force buy on defense.
will be enough to play against Sentinels.
The Stinger force buy on defense. This might be a fast one.
As backs against the wall in the first
If
map,
they
have
lose
to try to make a
this,
play.
And what,
Oh,
what else
boy.
would C9 do but push on a round where they might be
They
forced
are good with him, though.
against the
Good
game
amount of
point
damage
very
done.
soon. So Sentinels, knowing they buy, backing up, still lose second. That's how hungry C9 is to get these Stingers to go to work. All the deadlock utility at A means they can start to focus a little bit more of the map here.
But they did do some damage onto Oxy and Mitch. Both of them quite low, while the rest on the side of Sentinels, you still have 2 rifles in the hands of Zelsis and Narrate.
What goes
2
in
body
with
shots and the
forms?
players are down.
Dude, they hear
Delay
the
of
running, though.
delay. 54
Hear the
seconds
running,
left.
hear the orb. 50 seconds. Obviously, they could
Oh.
just cut sound and just stay
With the
here.
spike moving, this becomes
Rotate
interesting.
does come out, though.
Unless they hit a little bit cat and go back to market here. I feel like they
Net
might
still
stretch
has
themselves a
grav
little
net.
thin, but it looks like they'll just leave that one lurk on mid.
And Zeppa just threw
With
a
this
flash
great
onto
pressure on
B main. It did
short,
get the contact
flash,
onto Zelsis,
knife,
which
go
is why
back.
we're not fully rotating yet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All the way
they're
towards
trying to
the
fake
side
this
where they were
heavy.
trying to work before, but
Oh,
everybody's taking
TP
control of
over the
map
wall,
around
like
Sentinels.
this. Big fan of this. Oh, no,
Easily
he
back
didn't.
towards
Okay,
mid. That's
well.
going to be timing on the wall to drop it. Oxy's not going to
Oh,
think it. He's going to
what
think
the
it's a
hell?
clone.
Hello?
Bang was already there. And now Mitch, like you said, already
That was
low
a
in
TP
sight.
over the
Zephyr
wall, I
just
could
behind.
understand
How
it,
much
but
damage can they do? And is it enough to shut down the rest of the members of Sentinels? 12 seconds left. Celsius gets a pivotal kill inside
Celsius
sight so they can get the spike down.
own them with that flash.
And this leaves the 2 Stingers full HP on the half armor to come in. Bang already takes one out, and that's going to be Celsius.
Yeah, I mean, I think that
finding
is,
Vic.
I think that is the map done
Sentinels
here.
gaining control of the situation very quick here to get another round.
Yeah, in a round where it's not Zekin that needs to pop off, and when he's already sitting in a
Dude, that
silence,
was
the
rough
rest
from
of them are
Oxy,
actually
though.
activated here for Sentinels
The
on the
wall's
attack.
been hit, and he's not
Very
expecting
nicely
someone
done on
to
how they
push
controlled
through.
around the map, and yeah, another small fumble unfortunately coming out from Cloud9. The wall's been activated. There has to be a call that potentially there's going to be some sort of pressure out of Sentinels on the other side towards that spawn. And Oxy gets caught rotating across with a knife out.
Let's go.
Easy kill coming out from Bang. And
Yeah, at this point, you got to double
They are
down and
getting worked.
spine
A
to.
stark difference already in our duelist that we tried to match up today in Oxy and Zekin. Oxy at the bottom of the board there for C9, so Sentinels is not letting him get online, and it has been a problem for C9 here as Zekin is just running away with this game and the team behind him.
And C9 have to be worried too. The nature of the composition around Sentinels, if they're going to try to play it very passively in the very beginning, or if you're trying to play a la G2 sometimes, when you're pulling out these salvos at the very beginning at the entrances of A main and B main, it renders it very difficult for C9 to play as aggressive as they want to. So C9 definitely has
Yeah, this
a lot
is
to
nice
think
from
about here,
Sentinels,
trying
though.
to come back in his first
Probably
map
thought it was
off
going to
their
happen on
map
those buy rounds. Oh,
double swing denied
bit
at the
of a
very beginning,
lineup
and
as
C9
well.
are in a position where
The
they're pretty
Sentinels
much
are
gonna
pretty
force every
nice,
single
though.
round.
It's
Then
from a 1-3-1
pressure over towards
hold.
short back into the
Usually
split.
that's just for
Good luck to
info,
Mitch,
but to
mate.
get
Yeah,
a
skill 3.
like Sentinels is
Got
in
skill
the
4.
position, everything going their way right
God,
now,
they
and
wrecked them.
they can do no wrong, rather. That's going to be the hit back, flawless round coming
Oh,
in.
look
as
up
they
here
get
as
into
well.
game point here,
I think
12
this
to
is C9's
3
map.
on Cloud9's map of Ascent.
And the game plan's simple here for Sentinels. Just stay back towards the spawn, let them walk towards you. Zelsis gets a beautiful double kill in the very beginning right here.
Yeah.
But that's what you kind of have to.
The C9 look bad. I mean, they're doing a couple of rough things for sure, but Sentinels look really
They
good.
have to try to go for a buddy system. And
Like
maybe
I
punish
think, I mean,
the
this
extremities.
guy,
Because if not, if they're staying
this guy
within the
saved
site,
them from
might get
being
hit by
like
K9.
this
All
at the
that
very
util from the
least.
Sentinels are gone. The Sentinel player is not,
That can
of
do
course, the Sentinels.
so well.
That could be
Okay,
rather
9 chances though.
Okay.
Finally, some sort of hope here. First blood coming out in even a second.
Wait a minute. And this is why
Yeah, you
C9
say wait a minute, but we got a long time
here.
here.
Do this and you just don't
Got a
understand
long
where they
way
pulled it
back
from.
from
Wasn't
this
a
one.
timeout, wasn't anything. They just activate on mid. No other kills are on the map. Mid. Everyone mid. Maybe some rotations from the side, but it was in mid. And I think that was a little bit of that C9 taking control of the game from the beginning, right? It seemed like Sentinels had the rounds every time they started, but C9 finally can inject themselves a little bit there and show that they are worthy of taking the aggression.
Took better rounds, but maybe C9 were finally figuring out here that there wasn't enough pressure from
So when do Sentinels get all their ults? Because they need to, they can just chill. They can just chill and wait for these 3.
We still have a long way to go here. Another 8 rounds. And it's kind of squashed the question of will Sentinel's map pool be exploited a bit here. I think they've really just had this hidden in their back pocket.
What a nice flash by
Nice
Oxy.
flash.
Good push out. C9 getting a little angry here. Gotta see it. We gotta see a change in something, even if it's pushing more, being aggressive more. Sometimes you gotta go outside the box. Push around as well. This could be huge at top mid. They're getting timing on the map, and they may lose it over to the side of Bang, but that's not going to give the rest of Sentinels a free path to Bang.
And he's walking through. Right now, if Sentinels could continue to delay towards B main, they need to find it to allow this so that Bang could find the perfect timing in the back of the site.
No more.
Fortunately, though, Nara gets spammed through the smoke, and that's already a player down.
He's just trying to live for one more kill. Bang finds one, and now John Cutie knows. Gets the flash out, can't get it. Yes, he does. Double tap to the head of net.
they might actually lose it. Omen or gets the plant down early.
30 seconds left. The thing is that he canceled the
What
he went
happens
back
here
towards
though?
the A site to plant while John Cutie was going B.
Yeah, he was going B. Oh, bit of a misdirect there, I think.
Stealing sight.
Well, the Omen flash looked good.
He's delayed enough time.
Dude, actually
Yeah,
hit both of the
Turn
Omen
on his drone,
flash.
He gets out of position with the TP, and now John Cutie meets up with him.
Oxy first. Oxy goes down first. Mitch makes a distraction. Oh, Mitch actually able to get the first kill here. John Cutie coming up big. It's not going to be him. It's going to be Noxy.
How did Mitch even win that?
Mitch to take this round and bring it to 5. Inching their way back in, but Sen can explode at any time.
I feel like Sentinels probably had him in the 2v2 there.
Was going to try to drop the spike a little bit earlier so that
still not a good sign for C9 though.
Have a safer TP
That he's got so close.
I mean, he had to pick it up out in the open, which is probably the reason why he had to cancel, just in case somebody was waiting on the rotate towards the market. So as he canceled it, he's still towards the garden.
Wait, that 1v1's so good.
And thankfully, Oxy was still in dimensional drift.
That's like the best 1v1 I've ever seen.
Chance there for John Cutie, who unfortunately couldn't clutch the 1 versus 2.
Okay, Oxy's digging into the pockets here. Trying to push himself up the list. Goes for the operator now from the defensive side, and we saw what it did
Nico,
for
thanks so
Zekin.
much for the 13 months. Appreciate the prime.
Gonna have the same results.
There's no way. I mean, they'll just
middle.
ult combo. It should be impossible.
Still up. They're trying to find an angle here towards tiles, which may work.
They expect it. They expect everything right now from C9. And they actually give Zekin that space immediately. He takes it so fast. Oh, the shot just over Zekin's shoulder.
Big miss.
Both actually make it out pretty healthy on that one as Oxy will regen just a little bit, and Zekin takes this fight for himself.
I think Mitch actually spotted the players up on Cat 1 when he droned out from the garden. So
What ends up saving him?
Pretty good read here that they're still very slow on the hit.
Yeah.
Fast shot, but you got deforms from the other side of the map though.
You're playing across map though, so the Razor survivors are still
Well, I
really
like
good.
the idea you're trying to ult from the forms.
Beautiful,
It's pretty cool.
nice.
It's a nice
on the
anti-KO
Razor
setup
vines
as well.
You see Zeppa over at the B site. The utility can be used off of that ultimate since he's not getting hit. And now
Well,
Sentinels is left
there
wondering,
goes one of the ults.
where do they go from here? Who's actually at the site? And they're not going to have enough players to get through
30
here. So
seconds left.
C9 are able to capitalize on one more round for themselves and slowly finding a way in. But is it too little, too late? We almost have to ask that on every round as they've allowed Sen to get to 12. The pressure rounds must make it so much more difficult.
Yeah, and they don't really want to go to try to make it expensive for Cloud9,
No.
even though a couple of them could still buy within the next
10
round.
seconds
But
left.
Zekins seems like he's one away here from
You know,
the
bad or
Blitz
Sen good? I mean,
But the
mostly
last
Sen
two
good
players
from
down
what I'm
here,
seeing.
Gary just want to save.
Imi will
These two
say C9 bad. But
Oh,
So far, so good.
there's a lot of good from Sentinels.
Zeppa.
Not a good story finish, unfortunately, there for John. For John Cutie. But C9 did a really good job here to shut that down. Again, doing a little bit of a classic in terms of playing on extremities to avoid the utility or avoid the KO ult.
Okay, got a
So they had
timeout
a
out of them
perfect
though,
delay
and this
going out
might
towards the
be
Razor
to be
vines for
like
the traps to be placed.
we
You see
only
the
ult
combination. A
when
nice
we've
one from Mitch,
got the
taking down
advantage
Zekin,
instead of 50-50.
who still is currently on fire, 20 and 10.
Could be something about the
they
wall over
forced
towards
out the
middle
first
as well.
timeout
They
from
spotted it
Sentinels.
a lot of times.
I think C9 finally getting the op, and even the shot missed on Zekin slows down a bit of what Sentinels has to do, or activates them to push towards the site. They activate into the Razor Vines. They were kind of not on their own time is the whole point, and I think C9 likes that. So at 12, game point, and losing 3 in a row, a timeout coming in from Kaplan.
Yeah. Thankfully, on that previous round, they already found out that Oxy is wielding an operator.
Exactly.
So now the timeouts is, can we try to push him away? Are we going to try to get the blade storm out from Zekin so we can have a healthy buy overall across the board for Sentinels? Leverage
Yeah,
Celsius'
especially with
ult to
these
just
two.
overpower Cloud9. And it may be that start because all of Sentinels
Hey,
are
what?
leaning towards this A site.
Nice and simple on this one. Pick
Away
up the
from-
orb, insta hit over towards A with
Away
knives.
from Oxy's position currently. He's just waiting for the right time to get the TP out. You can see him, he'll place it across here.
Picking the
on
right
top
side,
of
but
Evan.
obviously
Yeah.
your TP is going to be heaven.
And then try to get a pick towards
Well, this is the
B.
RRQ stun.
So all of this is being avoided
Bounce,
by
yeah.
Sentinels in the very beginning. The pop flash potentially is going to come out to swing out towards main.
Second orb into knives. He's going to get that right away, only a shorty buy, so they can get the money spent around.
Oh, and they're going to go hard.
Oh, it's a
yeah.
good
Somebody's
pass
gonna
here.
get caught by this.
Knife's good as well. Omen flash is
That'll
good.
work on the way in. Steel Garden goes down, and look at that. Zekin just
It's a
shooting
great
ducks at the back
sight
of
hit.
sight. Nobody even knows he's there. A shorty from Zeppa here, wondering if he can get out of the smoke without being seen first. as the Phantom comes out next, and it is going to be enough to get one, but Zeppa cannot get out alive as they start trading shots towards Hell, and that's what it feels like right now for Sentinels inside A. Mitch again on the clutch versus Celsius. Spike is planted, plenty of time to play with a few fake defuses and push into the site. Celsius with no utility here, not even the Rose.
Back up. He knows he's towards the left now.
Half is there. Goes to the top, Mitch gets another one! Mitch keeps Cloud9 alive!
How many has he won? He's won 2 1v1s, right?
For the veteran player.
Keeping it going.
Just unfortunate. Some pure
nice
looks
shot
that came
from
through
him.
that a recon dart went towards a way where you can't get Celsius to break the dart right away. So with the ping coming through, you're able to get it halfway. You could now play the time onto Mitch. He
That's a
dodges
great shot with the
flash,
ton of the
turn
flash.
back,
And
and
the
the
Rose.
instant headshot onto Celsius. Again, because Celsius shot. He knew he was on the left side of line. He just turned, go back, look to the front. Potentially
Okay, Oxy gets the op out.
Honestly, since Mitch back in when the inauguration of Valorant in
kinda
2020 to when he's brought on the team now, has been one of
using
the
a lot of
most
ults. I thought this was the round though. I can't even
players
blame
with gun
Celsius
use
for using the
too.
ult
Operator,
here.
Vandal, Phantom.
Used it after they got the first kill, I'm pretty sure.
Mitch, and he's really making a resurgence here. Brought back onto the Cloud9 squad, bringing back a 7th round here for him on this first map. And now they have to clear
Dude,
just
look at
5
the
more rounds to bring it
confidence.
to OT.
Triple
Actually, a
push
tough
middle.
task
That spot's
with
2.
how the game
Insta
has been
ult.
going as
Oh, that's
Annihilation
nice, but
starts off and will grab.
doesn't. Yeah,
Narrate
nothing
first,
behind
but he's
it.
saved.
Now they place the wall
And
on
they
the
know
attack
they're
side
heavy
to
over
prevent
towards
any
middle,
type
so they
of
insta react by pushing over
B-side
towards
crush.
site.
So knowing that there's not going to be anybody close. Beautiful ult coming through from the Armageddon. Here comes the hit from Sentinels.
Nice spam through. They're trying to get these shots before they even happen. The Phantoms are helping them do it through the smoke. Still clearing sight, but Zekin goes down for one of the first times
Nice
as he
shot.
makes it in. Or no, Zekin goes, he gets a kill, I should say. As
So
Oxy
2v2.
answers back, the
Double?
duelists are firing hot right now, and who's going to overheat on this one, and who's going to keep their cool? Dimensional drift goes through, so Oxy knows exactly what's going on in the back of the site.
Trying
and
to
now
spam through the
Mitch
wall.
starts to creep into position so they can activate the protocol. Just to the left, spam through the box. It's a tough spot for Zekin as he can't get help from John Cutie on the same angle. A stiff wind will blow Oxy down, and a quick transfer could take Mitch as well. Almost there.
bro,
But it starts
6
up top. Mitch
HP.
finds the frag, and
It
C9
was
find
6
8.
The
HP.
HP remaining on Mitch and
Okay,
Oxy
it
combined
was
at
9.
8.
It's now 4.
6 on Mitch, 2 on Oxy, and they're still able to convert a
They used
2v2.
tail ult. We've
So
now
far
had
Chaos,
in
those
separate
Sentinels have
rounds
been doing an
a
excellent
KO,
job on these hits.
a
But
Vice ult,
C9
a
when they
tail
come
ult.
back to try to fight,
They didn't use them all in the same
not
rounds.
giving a chance here for Sentinels to really set up to a plan.
And
or to
honestly,
post
there's
line. It's been very
a
close
good
towards
chance
the
they
end.
don't get
And
this
same
tail
play
ult
again.
back.
Let's go, Francis! Let's go, baby! That's all you! That's all you! Let's go! Come on!
Boom. All right, Nat.
Damn, dude.
Don't usually hear too much from him. Not getting hype right now.
He's been loud this split for sure. Ever since he
Dang.
came back now into the VCT stage, dropped by G2 last year. Coming back this time around, I mean, he mentioned it in an interview, I think that was with Sage Tween, that mentioned that he was basically fighting his own demons, playing against himself in terms of not being able to get the confidence to compete here at the top level. But he's been doing pretty decent, not necessarily only in the kill department, but also in ways that he's using his utility as mainly the Deadlock or even a Cypher.
The last few games look great for him.
Yeah, he's an integral part to C9 in terms of how they're working around the site. He's just trying to stay alive, trying to find information into the mid rounds, and has these moments where he gets good assists around his util.
Fans, both timeouts for Sentinels
Force him down to an eco, but obviously it's
Nothing
Stingers.
left. That
And
was
in
4
the
rounds
past
left.
5 rounds, they've been
This guy.
gold.
Look in.
Yeah. Sen City wants the lock-in here. Can Sentinels deliver?
Still got the op
As
out.
Cloud9 is riding high, finding the silver
Dude, no ults
lining
for a
here on the
while other than
comeback from the
Omen.
defensive side.
And you know that
called it.
Omen
We wonder,
is always
fans,
going
we
to be
wondered
for
about
the
their
fast
attack
rotate
side. It
over
was a
towards
little
B.
iffy,
So normally when you have the
C9
Omen ult though, it is weaker
continues
over
to
towards
lock
B.
down their defensive
You
side.
could
A low
use
buy
that
here for
fake B
Sentinels
pressure and then go
to try
back
and
over
push through on
towards
this
A
round.
once the TP gets committed.
Off
Maybe
flash,
that's too
maybe
extreme
trying
for
to get
Nico,
Zekin
who
to
knows.
hit the switch. Yeah, it's a full exit in.
Okay. Goes fast. Net's still able to find him in the smoke and the chaos.
Dude, Zappa just surviving.
Zappa's HP and ammo is just about the same, down at single digits right now. They're all still stuck for the side of Sentinels here in the
Dude,
archway.
kinda happens. Omenor gets committed. They know that A is weak.
Is gonna throw him back.
Actually,
no upgraded weapon.
I'm not saying that was the overall idea at the beginning, but mid rounds worked out like that.
Wall right into the main side. So yeah, Zekin's able to dash through, but the rest of the team can't follow up. And even if they made it through, you still had 2 sonic sensors towards this B site where nobody
Weird
could
spot
come
for
down
Mitch.
towards
He
that
kind of
lane.
needs to push one of
A
these.
good read, a good pivot for Sentinels in the mid round.
Yeah, and you can
Still
just
2
tell them
stingers
when.
available. John Cutie calls for them to move towards this A site where there's only Mitch playing, and he plays the perfect spot.
Exactly, moving back to be more of an anchor, but not in the site, just outside the site, causing Sen to now have to re-clear main, have a few more things on their plate.
What you're trying to do with this position here is just to maintain the A site. When this plant comes down, when the door closes, especially that, you now know that the players have to play inside the site for
Weird for Mitch.
So it'll allow for the rotate.
Because I want to try get a kill before he gets his drone, but at the same time, I feel like Sentinel should know he pushed
Look at the
there.
positioning so far from Sentinels. That flash currently set up from Zelsis could really help delay in fight back here against Cloud9 Flood.
Okay, now he can drone.
He gets one solo, and now he can draw the attention. This is perfect for Heaven to start coming out.
He
You
can
can
drone.
see Nat start to sidestep. They're looking for the
Hold that.
swings. Another one from Mitch. Does
that.
he even need him? No, he doesn't.
Sure.
Another
Just why not?
3K for
Makes it
Mitch.
look easy.
Mitch
Was
has
this a
the
low
IGL
buy for
starting to
Sentinels? They're out of
activate as well on the
timeouts.
second half.
They get some old
I was just talking about the
soonish.
whole round. He's just got to stay alive, and he's probably going to be the last person moving through.
Yeah,
when they create the ruckus towards the top of Heaven, then he's just going to walk in,
He's gonna be the first.
casually stroll, get a 3K
let's
into
go,
that
Mitch.
one while
Hey, let's go.
everybody's
Hey,
focused
that's
towards
how
the
we do
back
it.
of the site.
That's-
And remember, no more timeouts left for Sentinels here on the
Yeah,
second half. So
3 chances.
it has to fall down onto John
So
Cutie.
overall,
A timeout that probably
maybe
was
see an Omenor
going to
into
be
this round.
translated
That's
within
it.
this round right here because Sentinels has money to work
Wait, the
with.
C9 call
Although
for
not
something
the best.
aggro? Oh, it's a big...
Half by small
big
shields
bold
trying to keep
call
the
with
economy
this
up
one.
for continuous buys for the rest of the half. But C9 are finally finding
It's a
some ways
big,
to fight
bold
back
call.
right here.
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
They're
they
not coming from
cancelled
mid.
on
They
it.
just go for a bit of a push towards the left side. I was wondering if that was going to be a huge
Yeah,
attack on tiles
Be a
too.
rough way to
And now
lose
we see no
the map
operator in the
when you
mix.
go
There was
aggro a
more
double
than enough money for
Sentinel.
C9, but they realize the speed of the game is going to be changing. There may not be time for an op. Everything is moving pretty damn fast right now, and you have to be able to move at that pace with your team.
They at least put a
of
sonic
3-2
sensor here as
split
well, so
for
get a
Sen
little bit
is
of early
C9 is
info.
very
If
active
someone's
on the
over towards it,
defensive
they can
side
maybe
trying
draw
to
this
figure
angle
this
a bit
out.
better.
Look at this.
Wall goes in
Brent
as
was just talking
well.
about now you change things around the walls towards B main. Everybody's pushed
Dude,
up
look
towards
at this
middle, but
punish
they're
on
all
middle.
on
We got
skills on
4
both sides.
people here.
This could be a meat grinder.
So overall wants
Hunter's
to
Fury
commit
up
over
the
towards
middle is
mid
not
into
gonna
a
give
triple
anybody really
swing.
room to shoot on this one, so they're just figuring out what's happening
Dude,
on
the
the
B players
map.
descend it.
B is open. Sen are not aware of it though. They could be taken out from the right side, but they'll C9 back in
That's a
position.
great
They
flash,
enter
though.
the site right as Sentinels try to. This movement is incredible.
Trap play didn't really work at the very beginning to find the info, but at least to get the first blood by punishing the push into B main. Now with 30 seconds
Zelsis
left,
picks
it's
up
to
orb.
Zekin that
If he
has
gets
to
a plan, he
try
gets
to
orb.
create an opening.
30 seconds. Oh, hold up. That's an empty site. They got a
Zekin
free
on top
path
of it
over
here.
towards
Can he
it.
hold for long enough though? What a push in. Mitch realizes it's a ruse, gets the quick shot there, and now it's still going to be the rotation over. They realize what B
Oh
was.
my goodness, the spike.
That could have been a huge kill. That would have been Spike.
One more though.
Does
Feels
he?
it. Doesn't look. Oh, second guessing himself. Gets
Jolly's
the wall,
dead.
and he's
Wait.
actually going to get shot in the back for this one. Didn't get a shot on.
Dude,
Another
how is
3K
Mitch
for
Thanos?
Mitch. Count him up.
He's owning
Rack him
everyone.
up.
And pistols left now for C9 as the Steel Garden comes out.
You get locked in.
Revealing area.
One dart. Bit
Surely.
of a chance to clear themselves into sight, and that takes down one. Can it be another big clutch for C9? This is going to be game, or it's going to be a round continuation here.
What's going on? Damn,
Damn,
okay. Crazy map, though. Crazy map. This is fun.
And on stage as they take map number 1 away
This is
from
fun.
Cloud9.
Shout out to, shout out to Zekin, man. Zekin played insane. Dude, Mitch had a great half there as well, though.
This time, the